Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Red podcast, your new favorite Manchester United fan channel, where we talk everything Manchester United. I'm Sporadiclese, and today there's quite a few things that we want to talk about. I think we've got Obi Martin that's actually finally getting the deal finalized to come over from Arsenal, so we'll touch on that a little bit. We're also going to talk about is Erik ten Hag in the hot seat? I think a lot of fans are getting a little bit miffed that we're not producing results, and I want to talk a little bit about who's really at fault. Is it ten Hag, and is his job under scrutiny? And as well as this weekend, which is going to be probably a pivotal point for that in particular, we have Tottenham coming up, and we need a result here. So far, we've only really gotten results against teams that we really definitely should be getting results against. But we also need to convert some of those maybe into points. And so let's hop right into it. We're going to first talk about Obi Martin coming in from Arsenal. It's been reported by Fabrizio Romano himself that he is finally getting the deal finalized to come over from Arsenal over into the Manchester United youth ranks, where he'll most likely play a little bit of a part in the U18s and the U21s. Thus far, he's done really well at Arsenal, scoring, I believe it was an astronomical amount of goals. I think it was 29 goals in 17 games or something of the ilk. Just a very prolific goal scorer at the youth level. And so we're hoping that that energy and efficiency is going to translate into his game in the next couple of years. He's not someone that I see obviously coming in and playing a whole bunch of minutes for the first team this season, but he's going to be a huge asset for us in the future. That was a huge gain for us and a huge loss for Arsenal. So I'm so looking forward to seeing what he does in our youth setup and how well he's going to progress into the first team, because Lord knows we need some goals right now. That's the one thing that we're not getting, and that's kind of putting some pressure on Erik ten Hag. A lot of fans are upset. Why aren't we scoring goals? What's going on? We have the most big chances missed out of any other Premier League team, and so really our finishing is just not there. The one thing that I will say, though, is the fact that we have missed so many opportunities tells me that we are also creating those opportunities. And so I think a lot of that we can attribute to Erik ten Hag and what system he's trying to build. Now, unfortunately, on the defensive side of the ball, I feel like we're still a bit vulnerable, as well as whenever we're trying to build out of the back. We are kind of struggling there. And so he's going to have to sort some things out. We brought in Ugarte, and we're really hoping that he's going to be one of those keys to protecting our back line and really putting in good shifts against high quality opposition to prevent us from seeing more chances coming on our defensive end of the ball rather than on the offensive end of the ball. And so I think we've also seen a statement put out that Erik ten Hag does in fact have the full backing of upper management, of Ineos and Sir Jim Ratcliffe. I think, though, that they're going to still want results. I don't think that's a catch-all. I think he does need to still kind of see some of the results of all of this come into play. And so we're just going to need some goals here. I think that's really the big thing. We need more goals. I think we've looked fairly good on defense. Most of the time, it seems like, what's happening whenever we're getting goals scored on us is that, we're just losing the ball in very sensitive areas of the pitch. So sometimes the building out of the back, that has kind of cost us. We saw it this week against FC Twente. We also saw it against Liverpool whenever Casemiro was getting either pressed or, playing a bad ball out. And so we've really got to minimize those mistakes while maximizing all of the opportunities that we've been giving ourselves, because the chances have been there this season. They really have. But on the flip side of that same coin, there are definitely some question marks about some of the changes that Erik ten Hag has made. pulling off what seems to be our potentially most productive striker or winger in the game, at a pivotal time whenever we need more goals. We're not finishing teams whenever we have an upper hand against them, and that's kind of what happened against 20 this week. We should have had 3 goals by the time that they really even sniffed, our goal, and having to force Onana into doing anything, which unfortunately he really didn't have a whole lot of opportunities. And so it's very high profile whenever he does miss one of those opportunities. And so, not a good look. Obviously, we do have some things that we do need to do better. I think overall, with the new additions to the team, as well as reincorporating some other players that have been kind of on the fringes, such as Christian Eriksen. I think he's not been a huge part of our team in the past year or so. His reintroduction this season so far has been very positive overall. Yes, you can say, oh, well, yeah, there was an error that he made that led to the goal, but what about the other 3 people that got dribbled past by a fullback? Where is his cover there? So there was any number of people that could have prevented that goal. Yes, Eriksen probably shouldn't have been caught on the ball, but overall, I think I've seen a lot of good things from him. A lot of playing the right balls at the right times. He's gotten on the score sheet himself a couple times, gotten registered an assist against Barnsley as well, in addition to his brace. So he's looking good. And I think overall, I don't think anything's going to happen with the manager until at least Christmas time. So that's really what I'm looking for. I was hoping to see kind of at least 9 points out of the first 5 games. We only got 7, so not a great look, at the very start of the season. But we're also bringing players back into the fold after they're coming off of injuries, such as Højlund and Mason Mount. It hopefully shouldn't be too long for some of the defenders that we've seen out. I don't know what Victor Lindelof did to his toe, but that must have been one nasty toe injury for him to be out for so long. So not great news there. But it seems like, hopefully we'll have Tyrell Malacia and Luke Shaw back sometime in this next month or so. And then Lenny Yoro in November. So it's really the defense where the injuries have been mounting up, and fortunately we didn't see any additional injuries come into play this week. During the week in the Europa League. So we're going to have a pretty good squad for this upcoming game versus Tottenham, and so that's what I want to talk about here now is the Tottenham game and what the lineup's going to be. First, I want to talk about the players that I'm pretty sure are going to start. And so you'll see all of those guys here without question marks. I think these are absolute definites that you have to bring against this Tottenham team. And it's pretty much going to be an unchanged defense for the most part from what we've seen in terms of Erik ten Hag's favorite or priority defense. And that being Dalot, Martinez, De Ligt, and Mazraoui. So long as they're healthy, I think right now that really is our best defense. I think that they complement each other in a lot of ways. We've got some pretty good pace and challenge players in Martinez and Mazraoui, as well as the attacking presence of Dalot and Mazraoui too. I think we've all been kind of pleasantly surprised with the output that he can bring in terms of making forward passes and getting forward himself. And then just smart decision-making and positioning from Matthijs de Ligt, as well as, bringing a goal into the defense. We love seeing goals from our defenders, love set-piece goals. It's something that we've struggled with in the past, and I would love to see more of those coming from our defense. And he's definitely going to be one of those target men that can 100% score goals off of set pieces. So hoping he can add a couple more of those to his tally here in the Premier League for Manchester United. It's going to be a great season for him, I think. I really do. And he's obviously kind of put Maguire more into the fray as a squad rotation player, as we expected, right? Maguire has showed up whenever he's been needed, and I think he's done a pretty good job. But I think it's tough to argue with the talent that Matthijs de Ligt is going to bring into the team. So love seeing him play, and I'm sure that he's going to get the nod here. His other center back pairing, Martinez, coming off of a bit of a niggle. I think he got a few minutes earlier this week, so he's definitely one of those players that you kind of have to have in your defense for it to be fully operable, given everyone that we have right now. Whenever Lenny Yoro, he comes back from injury, I think that might be a little bit of a different conversation. You could potentially pair him up with De Ligt and have a pretty solid core there in the center back position. So obviously Delo's also going to have to be on until we have either Tyrell Malacia or Luke Shaw back. I'm not banking on Luke Shaw playing a ton this season. I think that anybody that is banking on him playing a majority of the season is already on their way to losing their money. So fingers crossed that Malacia, his long layoff of injury, he's going to come back and he's going to play strong and be strong and really be that player that we signed to bring a lot of consistency and fight and drive into that left back position. So really looking forward to seeing this whole relationship develop over the course of the season. And it's also going to be important that they be protected. And the one person that is for sure that we brought in to do exactly that is protect that back line is Manuel Ugarte. And given how Tottenham like to play, they do like to attack and get in your face and move the ball off the pitch quickly. You're going to have somebody like him, just an absolute dog fighter in there, ready to play, ready to make tackles and protect that back line. So I think he's really a no-brainer for this position. Very much looking forward to seeing how he does against some pretty good opposition in Tottenham. Yeah, they've had a slow start to the campaign. They lost at home to Arsenal 1-0 this season. They lost away to Newcastle 2-1. And they might end up being without Heung-min Son this weekend. So we'll kind of see how that goes. So Mazraoui may or may not have it easy this weekend. We'll see. It's going to be a tough contest no matter what, with him in there or not. But it is significantly harder if Son is going to be in there. So we're going to have Ugarte in there as a bit of a protection plan against some of that offensive prowess that we are going to see from Tottenham. So very much looking forward to that. And then in our attacking options, I think there are two players that absolutely have to start, and that's going to be Marcus Rashford and Bruno Fernandes. Marcus Rashford, I thought that he had, he has had a good, last week or so. He definitely got the confidence booster against Barnsley. He scored the first goal against Southampton. I thought that he had some decent opportunities. He looked like one of our better attacking options in the week against 20. So I'm hoping that he has in fact found a good little vein of form that he can continue to build upon. And this is the perfect opportunity for him to do that. I think that he can definitely cause problems for a defense, and we've obviously seen that on numerous occasions. He had his filthy little move to get into the box and then on up to the touchline during the week, and that's something that we've seen from him more than once. It's a solid attacking option that we've got there in him, and I think that this can definitely go a long way if he has a good performance here against Tottenham in terms of boosting his output for the rest of the season. This can really kickstart his campaign. So really hoping that he performs well this week. And next to him is somebody that also is honestly in very dire need of a good performance. Someone who you wouldn't normally think, oh well, he's in a slump, and we need better from him. But Bruno Fernandes, I think he's kind of gone missing a little bit this season. Ten Hag has backed him to get back into form, scoring goals and creating them, but thus far it's been almost a bit of a no-show. He's been fairly good in terms of his passing percentages, but I feel like some of the risks that he would normally take haven't been there, and whenever he does, it's high risk with low reward instead of high risk high reward. So the decision making kind of needs to come back to what it has been in the past, so that we can really see him flourish and our offense flourish too. Because he really is such a key integral part of that, being our lead goal scorer last season, as well as high up there in assists as well. Definitely our player of the season last season, and we're just not seeing that from him yet. I think we will. I think it's only a matter of time before he comes good and starts producing for us again this season. But now into the really interesting pieces. I want to talk about some of the players that might be up for grabs here. And the first one being in the center of midfield as Ugarte's partner. This is going to be a tough one, but I think it's got to be Kobbie Mainoo. Christian Eriksen has been giving him a run for his money recently in terms of, his importance to our offense and his production and, all of that. And especially now that we have Ugarte to come in and be, a little bit more of, the engine in the engine room. As much as Kobbie Mainoo can do things on both sides of the ball, I think that Christian Eriksen and what he has been able to bring on the attacking side has definitely got to be weighing on Erik ten Hag's mind every time that he puts pen to paper for that lineup. But I think the reason that Kobbie Mainoo is going to start here is because Christian Eriksen has been getting a lot of minutes recently. At 32 years old, he's not exactly a spring chicken, and he's played 3 or 4 games. He started 3-4 games in a row. So I think that he's going to have to be rested, and I think that Kobbie Mainoo offers a lot in terms of that box-to-box midfielder as opposed to more of a deep-lying playmaker. And we're definitely going to need box-to-box. This is going to be an end-to-end game against Tottenham. They like to attack. We like to attack. We'll build out of the back, but we're also not, not afraid to counter whenever the opportunity is on. And so it's going to take some players that are going to be getting up and down the pitch in this match. And I just don't think that Christian Eriksen's going to have the legs to do that for more than 45 minutes tops after all of the football that he's been playing. So Kobbie Mainoo, I think he's going to come good this game. And he's going to be a huge integral part of us playing in this match come Sunday. So looking forward to seeing that. The other one that I'm looking forward to seeing is over on right wing. Kind of a new, an old face in a new-ish position in terms of this season. I think that Amad Diallo, while he has been good, these last couple of games, he's not been great. He's not had bad performances. He's not had really good performances, as opposed to Alejandro Garnacho, who had a man of the match performance against Barnsley, I believe it was. Just his production is great. I think that he's been fighting for his spot. And, Rashford has been picked over him on numerous occasions, but it's finally time for him to be picked for an important match. And I think this is the one that it's going to happen. I think he causes a lot of troubles for defenses. And so this is going to be one of those games where we're definitely going to need that willingness to take people on, that willingness to attack, to get to the touchline and play the ball across, and create a lot of opportunities. Because, if you look at the midfield that we've got, or that I've got here lined up, there's not a ton in terms of creative playmaking. But one thing that almost always works, in terms of creating opportunities for your team is getting to the touchline and playing that ball back across. And one thing that Alejandro Garnacho is really good at is taking people on, getting to the touchline, and putting the ball in. I think last season he actually had better production numbers on the right side than he did on the left, even though the left is kind of considered his natural position. So for me, it's got to be Rashford and Garnacho on the wings. I think that they're going to do great things together in this match. And so I really look forward to seeing kind of the synergy and, between all of our attackers and, Bruno's ability to get these players involved in key periods of play to kind of relieve some of the pressure that I know that we're going to have to absorb on defense. And finally, up top at striker, we have a new face starting this season. For once, it's Rasmus Højlund getting what I believe to be his first start for the season. I think that the one thing that we've missed in terms of what we need in our team this whole season has been a true goal scorer, an out and out poacher, and I think Rasmus Højlund has shown that his conversion rate is just so much higher than that of Joshua Zirkzee. As much as Zirkzee is very good at incorporating other players and bringing them into the fold and creating opportunities for other people, this is the guy that finishes the opportunities. He had a great scoring record once he got off the mark in the Premier League last season. I believe it was Boxing Day that was his first goal in the Premier League. And then he went on to score another 11 goals or something in the Premier League. So very good output, all things considered. He basically had half a season to get 11 goals, 12 goals. And so, if you get a full season under his belt, you could definitely see him in that 15 to 20 range. And I think that we will see it. And this is going to be one of those games where we need that output. So hopefully we see Rasmus Højlund getting the start. As much as I love Zirkzee and I've sung his praises, he's also missed quite a few of those big opportunities that we have created as a team. And so in this game against this opposition, where it is probably going to be a bit more end-to-end and there's going to be opportunities for both teams, I think that the creative component is a little bit less necessary here in terms of having Joshua Zirkzee in. Now, I do expect Zirkzee to come off the bench, and he'll probably do it to good effect. I don't know that Rasmus Højlund is quite fit enough to play that full 90 minutes. Hopefully, we don't see any more setbacks for any of these lads. But altogether, I think that this is a good lineup. It's a lineup that we're probably going to see quite a bit of whenever we're playing really tough competition or what has the potential to be really tough competition. Right now, Tottenham sits above us in the table for the simple fact that they played Everton and won 4-0, and they have a +4 goal difference as a result. And aside from that, our points total is the same. So I think that we have definitely missed the goal scoring from Rasmus Højlund, and I would definitely peg him to be on the mark this Sunday. So overall, I think it's going to be a tough match. I believe we are away, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just verify. Never mind. We are at home. And so against the home crowd, I think that we have to put in a good performance. And so I think that we are going to do that for the team. I think that defensively we have gotten a lot better. We just we've gotta reduce the number of times that we're giving the ball away. But overall, I think we're going to do really well. I think we're going to score 2 goals, and I think we're going to get a clean sheet for Onana. I think he deserves it. I think he's had a lot of really good opportunities. In terms of his being called upon and making those saves. And so I'd love to see some vindication for him. I know that some people have said that his positioning has been not so great, but I think that he's also shown that he is capable of making saves. And so we need to do him a favor and do him some justice. And I think that we will do that this weekend. So 2-0 is what I'm going with. I think it's going to be an end-to-end game, but overall, I think that we have the quality that's there. That's necessary to be able to win these types of games at home. And so, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and say I'm going to say 2-0 Manchester United over Tottenham. Let me know what you think about the lineup or my prediction in the comments below. Do you think that these are the best players to start for us this weekend? Is Ten Hag on the hot seat? And is this going to be a pivotal game for him? Is he going to have to get results starting right now in order to maintain his spot as the head of the club here through at least December? So yeah, give us a follow if you're on Rumble, subscribe if you're on YouTube. Again, let us know in the comments. We'd love to engage with you guys. If we do hit 100 follows on either platform, I believe, then we are going to start a Discord so that we can engage with you guys a little bit more. So definitely let's bump those numbers up. And yeah, looking forward to this weekend and seeing a Manchester United win at home. Very much needed. I'm Sporadiclese, and we will see you guys Sunday after the game.